you know, fine.
Mila Kunis has finally spilled the beans on why Ashton Kutcher has been staying out of the spotlight, and honestly, it's no surprise to some. Turns out Ashton and Sean Diddy Combs have a friendship that goes way back to the 2000s. Their connection started when they were both MTV stars. Ashton was running the hit prank show Punk'd It, and Diddy was making waves with his larger-than-life personality, even sending young musicians on wild tasks like hunting down cheesecake in Brooklyn. In a 2018 chat on The Late Late Show with James Corden, Ashton shared some fun memories about their time together, including wild parties, but he kept most of it under wraps. "There's so much I can't talk about," he laughed. "I'm going through the stories in my head and I'm like, nope, can't tell that one either." Their friendship had a quirky start. Ashton recalled how Diddy called him after Punk became a hit. He was like, "Yo, you can't punk me," and I was like, "What do you mean? Everyone's fair game," but he was serious, not me. "I'm off limits." That's how we started talking, and we became good friends after that, while the parties were a big part of their early bond. Their connection was about more than just fun. Ashton and Diddy often hung out to watch football and even leaned on each other for career advice. Their friendship was unexpected but left a lasting impact on both their lives. Ashton Kutcher has opened up about how his wild nights out with Sean Diddy Combs influenced some of his career choices, including his decision to join the cast of Guess Who. Those nights were the stuff of legend, full of fun, chaos, and a little too much drama. However, things weren't always as glamorous as they seemed. There were moments that crossed boundaries, like inviting underage girls to VMA after parties, something Kutcher now looks back on with a mix of regret and disbelief. Reflecting on those times during an award speech, Ashton joked, "Thanks for this award, it means a lot. But honestly, back then, I'd hear Diddy was coming to the party, and I'd think, am I even going to survive tonight?" It's clear those experiences left quite an impression on him. By 2006, Ashton started to see how people reacted to their friendship, and it made him rethink some of his choices. Their bond, which once felt exciting and full of possibility, began to feel more complicated. Over the years, Kutcher has quietly stepped away from Diddy, especially as serious allegations against the music mogul came to light. Diddy has recently faced legal troubles, including accusations of sexual misconduct and abuse, and Kutcher has made it clear he wants no part of it. Sources close to Ashton say his decision to distance himself was validated by others who have spoken up about Diddy's behavior. What started as a wild and fun friendship has turned into a sobering reminder of how important it is to draw the line when things go too far.
So, can't tell that one either. I mean, like actually cycling through them.
There's been a lot of buzz about how Diddy might handle himself if he ever got into serious trouble. Some say he's the type to share information about other people, especially if it takes the heat off him. And while it might not be outright lies, he'd likely reveal just enough truth to make himself look squeaky clean. That's why Ashton Kutcher and others who were once close to him might be feeling a little uneasy. Kutcher and Diddy used to be tight. There was even a time they hit up a Nets game together and met Jay-Z. It was all part of their glamorous, high-profile circle. Back then, people called their group the Brat Pack, which included Diddy, Kutcher, Leonardo DiCaprio, and a few other big names. They were always seen hanging out, living the good life, but now that shared history feels a bit more complicated. If Diddy were to spill anything about their past, it wouldn't necessarily be lies, it'd be a carefully crafted story to protect himself. And for someone like Kutcher, who spent a lot of time with him, that's enough to raise some red flags. What used to be fun, carefree nights with the crew might now feel like something they all want to keep buried. It's no wonder people are starting to wonder what might come out next. There's a lot of talk that Ashton Kutcher might be worried about what Diddy could reveal about their past. Some think that's why Kutcher recently spoke out, almost like he's preparing people to believe, don't trust this guy, he's going to lie about us. But here's the catch: Diddy was known for always having tape recorders and cameras with him. Wherever he went, he was documenting everything. So if there are tapes out there, they might already have all the evidence anyone needs. When asked if there's been any contact with federal authorities, the response was straightforward: "I haven't spoken to any prosecutors or anyone involved in what's going on with Diddy right now. There's no reason for them to reach out to me." It was also made clear that anything said in the past about Diddy was personal stories involving people around them, but nothing criminal that could have landed him in jail. People are acting like I said something so damaging that it's why he's in trouble now, but that's just not true. The message is simple: not everyone speaking out about Diddy is tied to his current legal issues, and not every story from the past holds the kind of weight people are imagining. Still, with Diddy's history of recording everything, who knows what could surface next? There's been a lot of talk about Diddy's legal troubles, but the details are still unclear. No one can really say what law he broke or what exactly he did to end up in jail. If you ask, what did Gene Deal say that led to all this, no one has a solid answer. And Gene Deal himself has made it clear he hasn't spoken to any prosecutors or anyone on Diddy's defense team. "There's no reason for them to involve me," he said. But could that change? Maybe. Anything's possible. Here's where it gets interesting. Diddy has reportedly been under surveillance since 2011. That's more than a decade of being watched. If authorities already had evidence of illegal activity back then, like the serious allegations involving underage victims, why didn't they act sooner? Why wait all the way until 2024? Now we're hearing that as many as 120 people have come forward with allegations. How many of those incidents happened after 2011? It's hard to say, but the bigger question is this: why didn't the government step in earlier if they knew something was going on? It's frustrating to think how many people might have been harmed because no action was taken sooner. It makes you wonder how much of this could have been prevented if someone had stepped up earlier. Imagine if the authorities had acted sooner, how many situations and victims could have been prevented. It's something worth thinking about. Now, with Ashton Kutcher admitting how close he was to Diddy, you have to wonder what Ashton really knows about him. If Ashton's been on tape, that footage could be something Diddy might use to his advantage. Maybe he already has. We all know the party atmosphere back then: alcohol flowing, music pumping, and everyone a little looser than usual. Diddy even said himself that the temperature was turned up so high, people had to take their clothes off. It's easy to see how things could have gotten out of hand in those wild moments, and some people might have ended up doing things they never planned, all because they were caught up in that environment. But here's the thing: Diddy was always known for having hidden cameras around. Why would someone do that unless they wanted to have some kind of control or leverage? When you're as powerful as Diddy, you start thinking ahead, keeping secrets, having something on others. It's not a surprise he'd want to make sure he had a few cards up his sleeve. After all, you don't get to the top without knowing how to keep a tight grip on things. Diddy has always been a master at manipulating people, playing them against each other. He did it with Biggie, Craig Mack, and even tried to stir things up with Ja Rule. He knew how to gather information on people and use it to his advantage. Whether it was through hidden cameras or just collecting dirt, Diddy was always a step ahead. And let's be honest, if you've ever heard the saying, "Ain't no party like a Diddy party," it's not just a catchy phrase. Some of the biggest names in the entertainment world got caught up in those wild parties, and who knows what went on behind closed doors. Diddy knew how to keep things in his control, and everyone in the room was a potential pawn in his game. Ashton Kutcher, on the other hand, seems to regret his connection to Diddy now, especially with everything that's come out about the music mogul. Diddy's facing serious federal charges for sex trafficking and racketeering, and his trial in New York is coming up. But Ashton's own troubles didn't stop there. Last year, he and his wife, Mila Kunis, found themselves in the middle of a backlash after showing support for their former co-star, Danny Masterson, who was convicted of raping 2 women. Masterson is now serving 30 years to life in prison, and the criticism Ashton and Mila faced for standing by him only made their situation worse. It's clear now that some of the people they were associated with were involved in much darker issues than anyone realized. It's tough when those connections start to come back to haunt you. In 2023, Ashton Kutcher and Mila Kunis found themselves in hot water after it was revealed that they had written character letters for Danny Masterson, asking the judge to show him some leniency when it came to his sentencing. The letters were intended to paint Danny in a more positive light, but once they became public, fans were outraged. Many felt that their support for Danny, who had been convicted of serious crimes, was tone-deaf and insensitive. In response to the backlash, Ashton and Mila posted an apology video on Instagram. They said, "We understand the pain our letters have caused. We've always supported victims and will continue to do so." They explained that a few months earlier, Danny's family had asked them to write these letters reflecting the Danny they had known for 25 years. They made it clear that the letters weren't meant to question the court's decision or challenge the victim's testimony. Their goal was just to give the judge a fuller picture of Danny's character before sentencing. Ashton and Mila added that they would never intentionally hurt the victims, and they deeply regretted if it appeared that way. Their message was clear: they were sorry for the impact this had on anyone affected, and their hearts went out to the victims. Despite their good intentions, the apology didn't seem to do much to calm the anger, as the damage had already been done. It's a tough situation when good intentions clash with public perception. Diddy's facing some very serious charges, including sex trafficking and racketeering, and now some of his celebrity friends are reportedly terrified they might be called to testify against him. He's currently in a Brooklyn detention center, and while he denies all the charges, the pressure's building. Since his arrest in September, many of his usual celebrity supporters have gone silent, clearly staying away from the controversy. But here's where it gets interesting. During the investigation into Diddy, it's come to light that he had some powerful connections, including ties to the mayor of New York, Eric Adams. Despite Diddy being under investigation, the mayor actually gave him the key to the city. It makes you wonder, what role did their relationship play in all this? The connection between Diddy and Mayor Adams seems to have caught the attention of federal investigators, with the Southern District of New York stepping in. Now, they're not just looking at Diddy, they're also going after some of New York's politicians. It seems like there's a lot more to the story than we thought, with powerful people all tied up in this mess. The situation is evolving, and as the pieces fall into place, people are starting to connect the dots. It's a complicated web of celebrity, politics, and possible cover-ups, and many are left wondering how deep this really goes. There's some serious legal drama going on with Diddy and Jay-Z, and it's raising a lot of questions. Recently, a woman from Alabama who says she was assaulted by both of them when she was just 13 years old won a big decision in court. A federal judge has allowed her to move forward with her lawsuit against the two stars, and for now, she doesn't have to reveal her identity. Jay-Z's lawyers tried to get the case thrown out, arguing that the woman should have to reveal her name, but the judge ruled against them. Now, the case is still going on, and it's a big win for the woman trying to get justice for what she says happened to her at a party years ago. This case is just one piece of a much larger puzzle that's slowly starting to take shape. For years, people have speculated about what really goes on behind the closed doors of celebrity parties, where the rich and famous come together in exclusive, high-profile settings. These kinds of gatherings have long been a part of the mystique surrounding the celebrity lifestyle, but with each new accusation, it's becoming clear that there's more to the story than anyone ever realized. As more details emerge, the picture that's being painted looks darker and more complicated. What started as rumors and hearsay is now turning into a situation that could have serious consequences. The shocking allegations involving high-profile figures like Jay-Z and Diddy are just the beginning. People are beginning to wonder how much of this behavior has been hidden, swept under the rug, or covered up over the years. What other stories have been silenced by power and money? The more we dig into this case, the more questions we're left with. It's clear that there are layers to this situation that haven't even begun to be explored. What other evidence might come to light as investigations continue? How many more victims are out there too scared or too silenced to speak up? This story is still unfolding, and with each new development, the stakes get higher. One thing is certain, the public's curiosity is only growing. People want answers, and the pressure is building on those involved to tell the truth. As new revelations come to light, it's becoming harder to ignore the bigger picture. This story is far from over, and who knows what will be uncovered next. All we can do is stay tuned and see how it all unfolds. The legal battle involving Jay-Z and Diddy just took another twist. A woman who's suing both of them has been allowed to continue her case while staying anonymous, at least for now. The judge, however, didn't hold back when criticizing Jay-Z's lawyers. They've been filing multiple motions trying to get the woman's identity revealed and the case thrown out. The judge called out these actions, saying they were a waste of time and resources. In fact, the judge made it clear that just because Jay-Z's team wants things to move quickly doesn't mean the court will rush it. This lawsuit stems from the woman's claim that Jay-Z and Diddy assaulted her when she was only 13 years old. She says it happened at an after-party following the 2000 MTV Music Awards, with another celebrity allegedly witnessing it. Jay-Z has firmly denied the accusations, labeling them as a blackmail attempt. Back then, he was 30 years old, and now, as a successful business mogul, his life and career could be at risk because of this case. This is just the beginning of what could be a lengthy and complicated legal process, and with every new development, it seems like there's more to this story than meets the eye. Keep watching, this is far from over. Jay-Z's lawyers are fighting back hard against the woman who's accusing him, and Diddy. They claim her story is a complete lie and point to what they say are mistakes and contradictions in her account. They argue that it's provably false and never happened. For now, the woman can stay anonymous, but the judge made it clear that could change later if Jay-Z's team needs to know her identity to prepare for the trial. It's common for victims in cases like this to want to stay anonymous, and sometimes if they're forced to reveal their name, they decide to drop the lawsuit altogether. Tony Buzbee, a renowned attorney known for his high-profile cases, recently made a bold statement regarding the ongoing legal battle his client is embroiled in, revealing a glimpse of the unrelenting determination that has defined his career. In his comments to CBS News, Buzbee emphasized that he doesn't typically engage in public commentary on court decisions, preferring to let the legal process play out in the courts. However, the gravity of the case at hand seems to have propelled him into a rare and steadfast defense of his actions, making it clear that he is far from backing down from the challenge before him. In a direct email response to the news outlet, Buzbee shared a pointed message aimed not only at the public but also at Jay-Z and his legal team, underscoring the intensity of the legal showdown that is expected to unfold. Despite the ongoing attacks aimed at him and his client, he asserted with confidence that these efforts are falling short, insisting that the smear tactics are not dissuading him from his mission. "The attacks on me as her lawyer aren't working," he wrote, reinforcing the idea that any negative publicity or attempts to undermine his credibility would not deter his determination to uncover the truth. Buzbee's email made it abundantly clear that he is fully committed to the fight, and he conveyed a strong message to Jay-Z's team: they need to be prepared for what's coming next. The implication here was that the case was far from over, and the legal tactics employed by his opponents may have just begun to scratch the surface. This remark, filled with a sense of anticipation, left the door open for future revelations, perhaps even explosive developments that could drastically alter the course of the case. Yet, amid the uncertainty, Busby was careful to temper his statements with a recognition of the rumors swirling around the case. He acknowledged the challenges of navigating through a sea of speculation, noting that distinguishing fact from fiction is no easy feat. The case has become a hotbed of intrigue, with various theories and unverified claims circulating in the media. One such rumor that has captivated attention is the supposed existence of a tape allegedly featuring Jay-Z or some of his associates that could serve as a key piece of evidence. However, Busby made it clear that until such evidence is brought forward and verified, these claims remain in the realm of conjecture. There's a lot of rumors floating around right now, and it's tough to figure out what's real, Busby stated, acknowledging the blurry line between rumor and reality in this high-stakes legal drama. This sentiment resonated with anyone following the case, as the lack of concrete evidence has left room for a great deal of uncertainty. Whether these tapes will come to light and what they may reveal remains to be seen, but Busby's comments serve to heighten the suspense. Adding to the intrigue, another rumor that has surfaced involves Diddy, a figure who has long been intertwined with Jay-Z in the public eye, and one of his bodyguards. Allegedly, this bodyguard is somehow connected to the woman who has made these accusations, and some suggest that the bodyguard could have been involved in the incident in question. However, as Busby rightfully pointed out, rumors alone do not carry weight in the courtroom. Without the full proof, it's hard to trust anything he stated, emphasizing the importance of actual verifiable evidence before making any sweeping conclusions. In essence, Busby's stance reflects a broader strategy in the case to remain resolute, even in the face of media frenzy and public speculation, and to push for the truth, regardless of the challenges that lie ahead. His message is clear: he will not allow distractions or baseless rumors to derail his pursuit of justice for his client. At the same time, his remarks serve to send a warning to the other side: the legal battle is far from over, and those who are quick to dismiss his client's claims or undermine the proceedings may find themselves caught off guard by the next round of revelations. As the case progresses, there is an undeniable sense that it will continue to unfold in a dramatic fashion. With Busby's unwavering commitment and the uncertain nature of the evidence, it's clear that both sides of the legal battle are bracing for what could be a game-changing turn of events. And whether or not the rumored tape materializes or any other evidence comes to light, one thing is certain: this case is far from the quiet, easy resolution that many may have expected. Instead, it promises to be a contentious and high-profile legal battle, with each side digging in for the long haul. With all eyes on this case, the tension only grows as more details are teased out in the media and more questions remain unanswered. Busby, for his part, has made it clear that he intends to bring these questions to light, and the legal world and the public at large will be watching closely to see how it all plays out. This whole situation kind of reminds me of when that bootleg R. Kelly tape was leaked. Everyone was talking about it, but no one could trust it until the full version came out. The same thing is happening now. It's all up in the air. Now, there's also this idea that the guy in the tape might be someone more famous than Diddy. Some say he's a young, big A-list celebrity, and if he's not black, the name Justin Bieber keeps coming up. Could it really be him? We don't know for sure, but it's something to think about. What do you guys think? Is it possible? Drop your thoughts in the comments below and let's talk about it.